You know that person who will spend 3 hours struggling with something alone before they ask anyone for help? The one who says, I am fine when they are clearly not. The one who Googles symptoms at 2 a.m. instead of calling a doctor. The one who carries grocery bags in one trip just to avoid making a second one. Yeah, that person is not stubborn. They are not rude and they are definitely not trying to be difficult. Their brain just works differently. And today we are breaking down the psychology of people who can't accept help. The ones society calls prideful, but science calls something else entirely. First, let's get one thing straight. Refusing help doesn't always look dramatic. It doesn't look like someone shouting, I don't need anyone. Sometimes it's quieter than that. It's the person who says, no thanks, I have got it. Before you even finish offering, the one who deflects every compliment, the one who apologizes when they are sick, like getting a fever was somehow their fault. These people are not broken. They were just taught something very early on. That needing help means something bad about you. And once that lesson gets into your brain as a child, it does not leave without a fight. So, where does it come from? Psychologists point to something called self reliance conditioning. It sounds complicated, but it's simple. When you grow up in an environment where asking for help got you ignored, punished, or made fun of, your brain learns to stop asking. Maybe you had parents who were always busy, not bad people, just stretched thin. And every time you needed something, the answer was figure it out. So you did over and over until figuring it out alone felt safer than asking. Or maybe every time you showed weakness, someone used it against you. A parent who mocked you, a sibling who called you soft, a classroom where vulnerability was social suicide. Your brain is smart. It noticed the pattern. It said needing people hurts, so stop needing people. And here's the wild part, that lesson protected you back then. It genuinely did. But the brain does not always know when the danger is over. So it keeps protecting you from help even when help is completely safe. There is something else going on too. A lot of people who can't accept help have a deep, quiet fear underneath all that independence. Not fear of person offering, fear of what accepting means. Psychologists call this identity threat. Your sense of self is built around being capable, strong, reliable. You are the one who handles things. You are the one people learn on. You are the one who does not fall apart. So when someone offers help, your brain does not just hear, let me carry that back. It hears something louder. It hears you can't handle this alone. You are weak. You are burdened. That's not what the person said, but that's what your nervous system translates it into. And so you say no automatically before you even stop to think about whether you actually need it. Here's something that might surprise you. Studies shows that people who struggle to accept help are often the most generous helpers themselves. They will drop everything for you. They'll show up at midnight. They'll give you their last $20 and tell you not to worry about it. But ask them for anything, suddenly they are fine. This is not a coincidence. Psychologists call it asymmetrical giving. These people learn that giving keeps you safe. Giving makes you valuable, giving makes you have something to offer, which means people won't leave. But receiving put you in debt. Receiving makes you vulnerable. Receiving means someone now has power over you. And for someone whose brain was trained on survival, that's terrifying. So they stay on the giving side of every relationship permanently, exhaustingly, until they burn out and wonder why nobody takes care of them, not realizing they have never let anyone try. And then there is the control piece. Some people can't accept help because accepting it means giving up control. And for certain brains, especially ones shaped by a chaotic or unpredictable childhood, control is everything. When you control something yourself, you know exactly how it is going to get done. You know the standard, you know the outcome. You don't have to trust anyone else's judgment. You don't have to be disappointed when they do it differently than you would have. Psychologists call this hypercompetence as a coping mechanism. The more skilled you make yourself at everything, the less you need to depend on the unpredictable, unreliable, potentially disappointing world of other people. It feels like strength, and in a lot of ways, it is. These people are genuinely impressive. They figure things out, they get things done. They are the ones everyone else relies on. But there is a cost because a person who can do everything alone often ends up doing everything alone, and that's not the same as being capable. That's isolation with the productivity mask on. Now, here is where it gets deeper. Some people who can't accept help are not just protecting their identity or their control, they are punishing themselves quietly without even knowing it. Depression, shame, and low self worth can shallow up as refusing help because somewhere in their mind they have decided they don't deserve it. Help is for people who matter. Help is for people who have earned it, and in their private inner world, they have not. So they struggle alone not because they are strong, but because on some level they feel like struggling is what they deserve. This is the version that looks most like pride from the outside but feels nothing like it on the inside. It feels like exhaustion. It feels like doing everything right and feeling completely empty. And it's important to name this one separately because this is not about self reliance. This is pain that learned to look like independence. So, what does this actually do to a person long term? Research in behavioral psychology show that chronic help refusal creates a feedback loop. You refuse help, you handle things alone, you survive. Your brain records, see, I don't need anyone. It feels like proof of strength, but what it really doing is making the wall thicker every single time. Until one day something happens that is too big to carry alone, and suddenly you don't just know now how to ask for help. You have actually forgotten that it is allowed, that it is safe. The other people carrying something with you doesn't mean you failed. The relationship suffers too because people can only offer so many times before they stop offering. Not out of cruelty, out of exhaustion. And the person who couldn't accept help ends up feeling like nobody ever offers anymore, not understanding that they trained the people around them to stop trying. But here is what nobody tells you about these people. They are not cold, they are not arrogant, they are not better than you. They are usually some of the most deeply feeling, deeply loyal people you will ever met. They care so much it overwhelms them sometimes. They just never learn that caring about people and needing people are allowed to exist in the same body at the same time. And when they finally do let someone help them, when they finally lower the wall even an inch, it means something enormous because it costs them something. It goes against everything their nervous system was trained to do. It is not weak, it is actually one of the bravest things a person like this can do. So ask yourself honestly, Do you struggle to accept help because you are genuinely capable and prefer it that way? Or do you struggle because somewhere along the line needing someone became the most dangerous thing you could do? Because one of these is a preference and the other is a wound that learned to call itself strength. You don't have to figure out everything alone. That's not what strength looks like. Strength is knowing what you are carrying, understanding why you are carrying it alone, and finally deciding whether that is actually working for you. The most self aware thing you can do is not refusing help. It is being honest enough to ask whether refusing it is actually serving you or whether you have just been so good at surviving alone that you forget you don't have to. And if this hits something in you, something quiet that you don't usually let people touch, subscribe because next time we are going to talk about the psychology behind people who always need to be needed. And I promise you, these two types find each other every single time.